So hey guys, welcome back to another video of Industrialist, and in this video we will be discussing about the new research point system, and this is a guide to all the players, all the early players, all the mid game players, all the late game players. It's for everyone. So in this guide we will be discussing about the new research points system and how the game has changed. And as you can see, I'm in the sandbox world and these are only props. As you can see, the models have changed a lot. These are the research station 3. Earlier there were only 2 research stations, which was the research station 1 and research station 2. So this is the research station 3, and we also have this 4 one, which is the extension of this one. We will be discussing about only the 3 ones because the 4th one I have also not figured out, and it's also much harder than all of the rest ones. So as you can see, it requires logic and the mini game is very complex, so I won't be able to fit it in one video and it requires a separate video. So that is why we will be just discussing about the 3 levels, which is research station 1, research station 2 and research station 3. As you can see, research station 2 and 3. So yeah, so basically the game has changed a lot in terms of research points, and many of the players who were late game players who almost had millions of research points is now reduced to thousands or 100,000s. Well, it has reduced by a huge chunk. I had 20 million RP in my main world, and now there is only 75,000 remaining. So that's the thing. So basically we are going to figure out the best way to make research points for every one of the players, the mid game players, the early game players, and also the mid to late game players, because for late game players there is the research station 4. It requires a lot of research points, so first we need to figure out the first 3 ones. So yeah, so first let's move on to the beginners or the early game players section, in which we are just going to use the research station 1. This is the cheapest one, and this is the just requires $75, and it's really easy to research. You just research it in the very starting of the game. As you can see, it requires 10 RP. You already get 50 RP when you just join the game. So yeah, this is research station 1. So if you want to power it, I'm going to use the steam turbine. If you don't know what it is, you have to build it in the future. So yeah. So as you can see, these are the research stations. You just need to power them, and they work like this. So to calculate how much research points are being made by this, first we need to understand the concept of the research point caps. So let's first place the research tracking panel. You don't need to place it, as I'm going to explain it everything. So if you just power it, as you can see, all the things that are going on in the world about research stations is seen. So as you can see, research station 1 and research stations 2 are working right now, and in the one, as I have more RP than the cap, no research points are being made by these 2. And this is the RP cap. As you can see them. So you have to place them in order to check your RP. You first need to progress and place, and you need to earn a lot of money so that you can buy this and also progress into the game further. So as you can see, it is producing 0 RP, and the model cap is 317 research points. This means that if you have more research points, than 317, then it's going to be very slow. And as you can see, it is producing no RP, so that's the whole thing. So you need to spam this again and again so that you can produce a lot of RP. So example, if I just spam it like this for example, and now I power them one by one. So as you can see, they are still not producing RP, but the cap has increased. As you can see, if you just look through the description, here it is written that it is recommended to place a research tracking panel and for detailed progress statistics, and more the research station increase, and both the research cap on the overall research speed increases. So basically that's the whole point of placing more of these. So if you want more model cap, if you want more research points cap, you just need to place more of them. So that's a simple thing. So just spam them and get as many RP as you can in order to unlock the research station 2, which is for our mid game players. And basically you also need to earn money side by side, so make sure to do all the basic stuff that you need in order to get money. So you can just research these press, roller and stuff, because these are very fundamental stuff which also allows you to earn a lot of money than coal actually. So that's why these are much better, and also you need to unlock iron extracting. to in order to unlock research station 2. So yeah, so this was simple. For the early game players, it's pretty simple. You just need to be under the model cap, or else you will not be producing much RP. So yeah, that's the whole thing. So now let's move on to the mid game player, in which we are going to use the research station 2. So now for the research station, for the mid game players, we have to use the research station 2. As you can see, it requires 750 RP, so you need to get that much in order to unlock this. And you also need to unlock the steel, which is very much required for this one if you want to generate a lot of research points. So I've researched enough, and I've narrowed down to gears, which are the best right now because they get 20x RP. This means that I will be getting 20x more RP than if you just put coal into it. If you just search coal, as you can see, it gives 1x RP. That is, it just gives the RP that we just it gives the normal RP actually. That's the whole thing. So as you can see, the gears are the best one for the mid game players, as it is easy to make, and also it does not require much resources. It just requires the steel. If you just need to research the steel one, and you just unlock the blast furnace. That's it. So I have the whole machine going up here. As you can see, it's working right here. So you might see 2 blast furnaces. Just ignore them actually, because this is for the steel rods. You don't need to worry about this if you are. And also you can just make crankshafts, but they are much harder, and I actually recommend you to sell gearboxes if you want to just earn money actually. So as you can see, it sells for 2500. It's much greater than the chairs. So make sure to just keep the items that you want for research points and for selling to earn money separate. So yeah, that's the whole thing. As you can see, the iron goes here. I will just give you the full tutorial of how to make gears. So let's first see the recipe tab. So let's just go here, iron ingot, liquid iron. So we need raw iron. As you can see, the raw iron goes here into the furnace. For the furnace, you need to research the electric furnace and molding stuff, which gives you ingot molder and electric furnace, and you need to unlock press and roller. These are required, and iron extracting and steel is required. As you can see, it's much expensive, but it's worth it, trust me, okay? So as you can see, there are 4 iron drills. I have used this ratio because, well, it's much better. There are 4 iron drills here which work in order to put raw iron into the furnace. As you can see, I've just pipelined this. As you can see, you just need to copy this, and this just outputs it into the ingot molder. So first of all, you need a good power source, and for the power source, I recommend steam turbine. For the steam turbine, let me just search for where you can research that. Alright, it's just here actually. Alright, I just figured it out, and it's actually in the energy one, and this energy tab, and for that you need the coal generator, compact coal generator, and the boiler. As you can see, you need the boiler to get the most power you can for making this. It's the most sustainable one and also the most efficient one. You can just see all the tutorials on my channel. All the tutorials are on my channel, and this is a compact coal generator. You can just make it. You can also research it, and you can also use it, but I recommend the boiler. So yeah, and the large turbines, of course, because these are the much more important ones in the firebox. So yeah, so if we just go here and see how it is made. Here the raw iron goes into the furnace, then it goes into the ingot molder, where it gets molded into iron ingots, and then the iron ingots go into the blast furnace. So in the blast furnace, let's just see the recipe again. In order to make steel, we need the iron ingot and also the coke fuel. Coke fuel is much recommended, as you can see, with less iron ingots it produces more steel ingots. As you can see, 6x steel ingots just from 2 iron ingots and 1 coke fuel. So this is much better, and that's why we need to make coke fuel for this one. And also you can use any pipelines, it does not matter actually. You can also research the good ones in the utility section. You can just find it. It's just about right here. Let me just find it. Long pipes, better item. So this is the one, better item pipes, intersection pipes, and the bladder fluid pipes. So intersection pipes are much better because they are the rusty pipes, and they also are better for better engineering of the pipes actually. So that's the thing. So you can also research these ones, but these require RP, so it's your choice actually. But you can also work with the rusty pipes, which are these one in the tier 1 section. As you can see, you can also use them. So the iron ingots go into the blast furnace and also the coke fuel. So in order to make coke fuel, you need to make the tree farm. And for the tree farm, let me just show you the coke fuel. It requires oak logs and coal from blast furnace. So you need another blast furnace, and if you don't know, blast furnace is in tier 3 and it's much expensive. It's of $60,000. It's very expensive for mid-game players, but you need to grind it for it, because for earning RP you need to sacrifice this much. So the oak logs go from here to here, and the coal also goes from the coal drills to here. So as you can see, how to make tree farm now. So tree farm is very simple. You just need to place this water tanker, in which you can just input 2 water pump tools, and it's sufficient. If you don't know, you can just research it right here, but if you don't want to research, you can just place 4 or 5 level 1s, which are these ones. You can also place 5 of them, and it also works very fine. As you can see, the sprinkler is also working. So if you don't know how to make the tree farm, just go to the cheer farm tutorial of my channel and you can just learn how to make it. So yeah, and also these are the tree farm harvesters, which just cut the trees into the output. And this is the tree farm output. Sprinkler, tree farm controller is the main thing, the brain of this whole thing. You need to provide it with power, and everything works automatically. So yeah, so all the oak logs go into the blast furnace. You need to power it, and it requires a lot of power. That's why I recommend the steam turbine for this whole setup. So this produces coke fuel, and the coke fuel goes right here. It works it, and basically it sends it. It makes steel ingots, where we just input it into this press and these roller and press. So if you don't know what they are, let me just show you. These steel ingots and these steel ingots are then used to make steel plates. Let me just show you yes. So one steel ingot is equals to one steel plate by the press, and the steel plate is further made into the gear, which is from the roller. So as you can see, 2 steel plates into 2 gears. So you need the roller for this, and I recommend you to use 2 of the presses. As you can see, I've done the pipelining like this, and the press. So the press is connected with the whole plate stuff and the press, and as you can see, there are 2 presses and 2 rollers. So just have these 2, and you can produce a lot of gears. So all the gears go into the research stations. So now the question is, how do we put into them? Actually, it's very simple. Just go into the research station. If I just show you here, all the stuff that you are going to put into the research station goes, and here the gear goes. As you can see, the gear goes from here to here and to here. So basically that's how you make research points efficiently with our research station 2 for mid-game players. It's much simple, and you can also use the crankshaft. This one is for the crankshaft. This is for the steel rods, and this basically makes crankshaft. If you don't know what it is, it's gear plus steel rod, and it gives crankshaft. You can use it actually for selling, because this is much better for selling, and gears are used for the research points and stuff, because well, you also need money for the whole stuff that you're going to make. So that's the whole thing. So that's why you should use crankshaft for selling, and the gears for research points. That's the whole thing, and you would make sure to just use this ratio, because this is the best one and ensures best efficiency. And also make sure to grind up for a lot of money. And if you don't want to buy another blast furnace, you can also use coal, simple coal. It's fine to use simple coal also, because well, it doesn't matter much, and it's just that you require a lot of stuff. As you can see, this thing works very slowly, so you can add 2 of them if you want. You just need to trial and error, and basically it works out if you just think it about your own stuff. So basically that's the whole thing. And yep, so this was it actually. You can also use crankshafts, and if you have the plastic unlocked, you can also use gearbox. It is also good, but it's much better if you use the stuff in the next one, which I'm going to tell you, which is the mid-game to late-game players. So yeah, so here ends the research station 2 ones, in which you just put stuff into it and it works. So yeah, you can just calculate here how it works. Let me just so basically, as you can see, it produces this much RP. So as the as your research points increase and your research cap the difference between your research points and research cap increases, the production and the production of RP decreases. So that's the inversely proportional relation, which I'm going to tell you in fancy language, is the whole thing. So basically, make sure to spend your RP and do not be AFK for long, because as you can see, it forms less RP when your research points increase and your model crab remains the same. You can also put a lot of research stations and also increase this whole setup. So you can also do that, and as you can see, there are not much iron ingots into it, so you can also increase the electric furnace, and that's it actually. So you need to trial and error and just make it into your preference, and it will work just fine for you, and it will produce a lot of RP. So as you can see, I've generated this much RP by remaining AFK for about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So this is good, right? So yeah, that's the whole thing. So now enough yapping, and now let's move on to the mid game to late game players, which is the most important actually, because it's much complex and it's much harder actually. So yeah. So now for the research station 3. So it actually requires a lot of research points now. As you can see, it requires 15,000 research points, so you need to grind very well in order to unlock this. And the next thing is Saturday dishes, which I will tell you in this one only. So research station 3, right? So in this one, basically you have to, there are 2 nodes actually, and to run this you need 2 different items in each of them. And as you can see, I have put gears in both of them, and now I'm going to tell you why. So if you just power it, it requires a lot of power actually, so make sure to have a good power source. As you can see, so I have to just increase how much power it is going, and let me just do that, and bam, and that's it. Alright, so now it's getting sufficient power. And now if you go to the screen, so basically the 2 items are the same, and if the 2 items are the same, it suffers 30% speed loss. And now I'm going to tell you why it is better, because well, you see, we already do not have much of the gears, and if you have, then it's well and good, but if you do not have, it doesn't matter really, because well, it just leads to speed loss, but it's working really fine. As you can see, 14 RP, and the research cap is 12,000. This is really good, right? So you can also spam this, and yeah, it's really good. Speed here doesn't matter much, and if you want the speed to be matter, like if you want more speed, you can just use crankshafts. But now, if you want good RP, if you want a lot of research points, and you have unlocked almost a lot of stuff, like if you unlocked this industrial roller alloyer, which is actually very hard, but if you unlock these stuff, then congratulations, you can generate the most RP in the game. For that, I'm going to recommend you the ferroaluminium magnets. These ferroaluminium magnets, 120x RP, it gives 120x RP, and it's fairly easy to make if you are using the purple gold. And many people say that purple gold is much better for the research points, but well, it's much better for selling because it's $20,000, whereas ferroaluminium magnets, it's for 8.5k, but it gives more research points than the purple gold. So make sure to make this one. I have the tutorial already on my channel. The link is in the description. Make sure to watch it. And for the gold, you can also watch the tutorial. The link is in the description. And you can also use the electric motor, which is the best thing actually, which you can possibly make. But it requires a lot of stuff like electromagnet. For that you need rubber, and which is for naphtha, and steel rod, steel plate, and machine oil, which is really hard to make actually, but it's the best. And if you want to ask about the best thing which is in the game, which is the tungsten carbide drill head, and possibly this 8x 64x microchip. So this gives 2 to 5x research points, but the best one is possibly the electric motor, which is the best one because it's easier to make and it's also really good. So make sure to make electric motor if you have all the stuff, or else you can use ferroaluminium magnets. However, if you do not have these stuff and you have still unlocked this research station, you can also use crankshafts in order to you can also put crankshaft into this in order to make crankshaft. Just have this setup again, 4 steel drills for 4 like whole steel setups for this 4 iron drills, then 1 electric furnace, and then 1 blast furnace with coke fuel. and just put it into a roller, and that gives you steel rods. So basically steel rods plus, let me just show you the crankshaft. So it's steel rod plus gear is equals to a crankshaft. So in the craft assembler it's really slow actually, so I do not recommend that because it's very slow. But if it is fast enough for you, if you place 2 craft assemblers or 3 craft assemblers at once, then it probably works. You need to check it for that only, because well, everyone's setup is different. So yeah, so you can just set you can just look for everything that is happening. The global research speed, this is the speed of the research station, and as you can see it is producing research points very fast with the gears only. If you use crankshafts it's going to be more fast, but if you want the best output you just need to use ferroaluminium magnets. This also goes for the late game players, but you need a lot of research points for this one, so it's basically requires a lot of research points in order to unlock more research points. So I highly recommend you to use ferroaluminium magnets instead of purple gold or instead of electric motor, because electric motor is not easy to make, and also it requires a lot of time in order to make it, whereas ferroaluminium magnets do not require much time, and also it's fairly easy if you're already making purple gold in your world. So yeah, ferroaluminium magnet is the best for making power right now, and that's the whole thing. So I'm not going to show you here that how to make ferroaluminium magnets. It's already on the channel, so make sure to watch the tutorial, and that's it. So this is for the research station 3 part, but however there is another part about the satellite dishes which comes after it. If you just go into search tab, research station 3 and then the satellite dishes, as you can see. So basically there comes two stuff, satellite dish controller and satellite dish. Let me just show you. Satellite dish controller, this is the one. So you have to put a fluid into this one, and this controls about 3 satellite dishes, as you can see. You have to put about 3 satellite dishes, and this actually boosts the global research points production, and this is the best one actually, and that's the whole thing. So basically you can just connect this one. There's the input one, so there's the you have to just keep it in range and then it works. You have to put machine oil into this, and machine oil is fairly easy to make, and actually the tutorial is in the description. I have the video in the description, make sure to watch it, and that's how you can also make machine oil. Machine oil is the best fluid that you can put into this one, because let me just show you, it gives 4x. You might think that it is very less, but actually this is one of the most producing fluid in the game. So you can just put it into this one, and the satellite dishes do their work, and basically they give you more research points. Actually they just increase the speed, and they also increase the research points output. So this is really good, and that's the thing. So basically you can use ferroaluminium magnets for the research station 3, and you have to also use satellite dishes if you have the money and if you have the research points for it, in order to just boost the RP production furthermore. I have not yet made this setup right now because well, it requires a lot of time, and machine oil is fairly easy to make also, because it just requires heavy oil and steam. You get heavy oil from the coal liquefaction plant. Everything is on the channel. So yeah, that's the thing, and that's how you increase the speed of research stations. So yeah, I hope you understand everything, and it's fairly easy, and whereas it requires a lot of hard work, because well, it requires a lot of stuff. You have to make ferroaluminium magnets, which is actually very hard to make, because well, aluminum ingots, iron ingots, it requires a lot of hard work, but it's worth it in the end. Even with gears, it is working very efficiently, as you can see, this research station. So make sure to go up till research station 3, and for research station 4, man, it requires a lot of RP again. 250k research points for the research station 3. Let me just find it. It's just around here. Yeah, right here. So as you can see, 250,000 research points for the research station 4. So I recommend you to just use the research station 3 till now, and for research station 4 it's much more complex. So yeah, so I'm going to repeat again. Use ferroaluminium magnets if you want like less hard work, and also you want money, because well, ferroaluminium magnets also comes with gold, because well, you can also make the gold actually, so that is why it is also much better. And also an update to the game. They have now replaced the soil excavator with a quarry. This quarry, whatever it is. So sorry for my pronunciation, but this is the one. So this is the quarry or whatever it is, and basically it mines everything that you want. It mines the soil and clay, it mines the sand and limestone. So you want the soil, and just basically store the clay, and basically you can make bauxite residue from this. So if you go to the soil one, oops, what? So as you can see, the bauxite residue can be formed by this one. As you can see, just soil into rich soil, bauxite residue, gravel and sand. So into the trommel actually. So just replace the sand excavator with the quarry and just power it, and it actually mass produces a lot of stuff. So make sure to use it, and that's the thing. So that's the update for the gold park, the gold stuff, and yep. So that's the whole video actually. So yeah. So thanks guys for watching this video. If you have any doubts or if this tutorial misses anything, make sure to comment it, and please do not spread hate towards the channel. I am just learning with you all guys. And also guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Like this video if you liked it and you found it helpful. And yep, make sure to share it with your friends in order of those who are just starting into the game and do not know what to do with the new research points system. So yeah, thanks guys, peace out.